Brann against the Rosenborg Norwegian Eliteserien match this Monday, 4 p.m. kickoff time in the UK. And my, how the tables have turned. You've got a Brann side now who are in a far better place footballing-wise than Rosenborg. Newly crowned Norwegian Cup champions at Brann. They're going to be in Europe come the summer. Of course, Rosenborg are as well because they had a good season last year. But right now, it's difficult to see how Rosenborg are going to pick themselves up and finish in the top six, really, let alone the top four. They just don't look great. They did win the last match against Haugesund at home. Laboured to a 1-0 win against a team with 10 men. Laboured to another cup win in midweek against a lower ranked side. Something's not quite right here. I just don't like the general position they're in. I don't trust them offensively and defensively. You know, that's what the kind of maybe their main strength is, but it's going to be really hard for them to contain this Brann side, who are generally really tough to play against. One thing I will say, Rosenborg played all right against Bodø Glimt in the most recent away game because there was no real pressure on them, perhaps. They are a big underdog with the books today, but there's a lot more pressure on them here because there's a big historical rivalry. Their fans will not accept going to Brann and just accepting a defeat. They've got to come here and beat them, or at least get something. If I was to take anything, it would be over 2.75 goals at minus 111. I think there's a decent potential for goals here. The problem is I think Rosenborg might aim to frustrate Brann and get a 0-0 draw, or it might be a tight one. I think the defensive strategy of Rosenborg is something not to be underestimated in this game. The Brann handicap is minus 1.5. That feels a bit too high because they'll happily just take any win against Rosenborg. They also might be a little bit of a come down for them after that Norwegian Cup final victory last weekend. But nevertheless, I do think Brann will win the game. 3-1, I'm predicting. It could be 2-1. I'm not sure. It feels like maybe I would go the overs if I had to, but overall, I'm happy not to get involved.